Merry Christmas.
Well, here we are, the penultimate Sunday of the year. The last Sunday before the year ends, and we get into 2025, election year. Well, let's hope so, yeah. What's going to happen? Nobody, I don't think anyone's got a clue. No one's got a clue at the moment. There's a lot of rumours going around. We might talk about them over the Christmas period, you know, between, I'll probably take a couple of days off over Christmas, not post any videos, but, you know, in the little gap between, we could have a chat. If you guys want to have a chat, if you want something to watch, we could do something. Just a disclaimer first, before we get on with the video. There is no CBC content in this video. So if anyone from YouTube is watching, disclaimer, no CBC content in this video. Yeah, that kicked off. Let's talk about that in the comments. Comments is the second part. First of all, let's listen to what Poilievre said about dealing with Trump when he becomes Prime Minister.
You will have a friendly neighbor to the north, President Trump, but you will also be facing a free enterprise Canada that is open for business, that is going to be fighting for jobs and opportunity on this side of the border. That is the new reality. We will have a Prime Minister who puts Canada first. He's watching right now, and if so, I wish him, all Americans, and more importantly, all Canadians, including Santa Claus, who is Canadian, by the way, a great and very Merry Christmas.
What do you think? Do you think Poilievre is going to fight for Canadians? Somebody's got to fight for Canadians, because nobody's fighting for us at the moment, are they? It's just anything that they can get for themselves at the moment. Just on another thing, well, before we get to the comments, Chow, the Mayor of Toronto, yeah, don't switch off just because you're not in Toronto. You got to listen to this. She wants to give all new refugees to Toronto $1,000 each a month to help towards rent. Not Canadians, not people who've been living here for most of their lives and struggling with rent and paying the rent, paying the debts and everything. No, she wants to give it to new refugees so they can afford to find somewhere to rent.
It's about how much you keep a person in jail, right? It's like $120,000, $150,000 a year. Providing a rent supplement. My God.
Well, that's like, you say maybe $150,000 a year to pay for one person in jail. But also, in our emergency shelter system, I'm trying to remember if the number is $70,000 a year per person, or like per bed, is what it costs us to house somebody in the shelter.
It depends
system.
on what kind,
Right.
which is why I've been pushing for rent supplement.
Right.
It's $1,000 a month.
Right.
It's $1,000 a month.
Right.
It's $1,000 a month. Okay, and you know how much is it a year? Right. 10, 12,000. It is so much more, because you're not cooking the food. You don't have to shop for food. If they are refugees claimant, you can provide them with a loan, just like we did in Syrian refugees. I don't know why we stopped, okay? This is the federal government. We should, Ukrainians, same thing, did not stop, right? You come in, you get $10,000, or they, make it a loan. If they will pay back.
You know, that's just mind-boggling. There was something else. Oh yeah, Trudeau sent. I can't say it on YouTube. Everyone's getting into enough trouble as at the moment. But just read this. Just read it. Why are they sending people to do that? Why are we spending money on sending people to the Ukraine to do that? Why? Like, why? Are they trolling us now? Is that what they're doing? You think they're trolling us? I think they are. I think they're just trolling Canadian citizens now, and just making it up as they go along. Just see, what's the worst thing we can do? What's the thing that will really wind people up? Let's do this. Yeah, bingo! We wound everybody up, and we're just showing how crazy we are. Yeah, let's get on with the comments. Where are they? No screw ups this week. Come on. Here we go. The CBC attack on small YouTube channels failed. Yes, they did try to attack YouTube channels. It's not a wind up. It's not clickbait. They did actually attack almost every single political news it's called YouTube channel on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, because they're YouTube channels. Yep, Canadian ones, obviously. And pinned comment from Northern Perspective. Cheers to you, sir, for making the video. Wow. Yeah, it's always a great day when Northern Perspective take time out of their day to comment on my video. Yeah, I was happy with that. Can you tell? True Canadian said,
a Liberal Party of Canada corporation that sucks the hind teat of the taxpayers shouldn't think they have a copyright, as their content should be owned by all Canadians.
That's exactly the point. We pay our taxes, and the government, the Liberal government, pay them to make news, to make the Liberal government look good. So yeah, whatever they put out there should be owned. However, they did do some copyright stuff against CPAC, which I believe is owned by Rogers, and absolutely nothing to do with the CBC. So they are making bad decisions in their copyright department. Let's put it that way. Any other channel that did this, they would be deleted for making false copyright claims. But yeah, I suppose the CBC is quite large. Mr. MacGover.
The ad revenue goes to those claiming that you use their channels, footage, CBC in this case.
Well, yeah, the ad revenue should have gone to CPAC and not the CBC, because they weren't the ones that were on most of the videos that people were claiming. Because to be honest, a lot of people who are making these videos, we don't use CBC. Like, I used a couple of clips because I needed something from the Langley election. That video is out on Tuesday, because I re-edited mine and held it back and did this video instead, the CBC video. But because I re-edited it, I lost the CBC footage. It's the only footage that I could find of the Langley election, where the Conservatives were decimated. 60% went for Conservative. Jeremy said,
we are well on our way to defunding the totalitarianism aspirations of Trudeau, and the next will be his lapdog Ministry of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda, the CBC.
Some long words in that one, Jeremy. Alpha Skeptic said,
CBC should now be demonetised.
That's what a lot of people are really up for that. Sled.
The CBC needs to be removed from existence. Nothing but taxpayer-funded propaganda machine.
You see? Persuadopitrus. Defund the CBC! Andre.
Defund, tax, drain, CBC. Sell it, Poilievre.
Gregory said,
regularly watch Northern Perspective, Pleb, Fringe, Clyde, etc. And it doesn't surprise me the lengths the CBC will go to suppress free speech. One word, defund!
So again, the feeling that everybody is supporting Poilievre's idea of defunding the CBC.
I'm going to defund CBC. That's my commitment. I said my commitment has been the same since I first said it at my very first leadership rally in Regina. I said we will defund the CBC to save $1 billion. That was my commitment then. It's my commitment now.
Bo River said,
the CBC is irrelevant, and now they know it.
Yeah, that was a I don't know. That was a low bar, wasn't it, to go to try and defund small YouTube channels. Jim Rathwell said,
can't wait to say goodbye to the CBC. Just another waste of taxpayers' money.
Just think of all the bonuses that we'll save. The millions of dollars of bonuses that could go into, like I've said all along that Northern Perspective is, imagine if Northern Perspective had a place on like Global News or CTV or something, and then at the end of the news you say, right, now here's a 15 minutes of Northern Perspective, and then they tell you exactly they tell millions of viewers exactly what's going on in Canada. That would be a wake-up call now, wouldn't it? Bill Fair said,
hopefully we will be done with the CBC if the NDP and flip-flop singer follows through on his recent letter. But if I were you, I wouldn't hold your breath based on his track record.
Yeah, he's not exactly been the most honest MP in the world, has he? Like, he rips up things and then sticks them back together again at night in his bedroom. And he wants what's good for Canadians and taxpayers and groceries while he walks around with Rolex watches and drives in he's driven in a Maserati and has designer. Yeah, it's show, isn't it? It's got to be show. Dennis said,
glad they won against the CBC.
Yeah, we all are. Thanks, Dennis. Jim says,
great job to all of you. Unbelievable that YouTube will go along with this in the first place. Bullies.
Well, actually, YouTube has to submit the actual claim, and then what's stupid about it though is that they then ask CBC, "Oh, are you sure?" And then CBC, "Yes, we're very sure. Yes, we think yes. That's what Catherine says." Oh, okay, then we'll let it go then if you're sure. Thank you. Yes, we're very sure. Yeah, it should be. Well, we've looked at this, and this is CPAC, nothing to do with CBC. So yeah, no claim. Ron said,
I got the feeling that this was a Trudeau attempt to stifle free speech, funneled through his propaganda department to appear like they had started it. I could be wrong, or this is just my complete distrust in that disgusting person seeping out of me. And yes, I'm using the word person very loosely here.
He's talking about Trudeau there. And yeah, there's not a lot of likes for Trudeau anymore, let's be honest. Alan said,
note that CBC YouTube presentations disallow comments.
That's one of the whole reasons why we have our channels, is that you guys can say, no, you're wrong. Don't defund CBC. They're a great enterprise. It's the best thing ever. I love hearing everything that Trudeau wants to lie about. You know what I mean? You have your right to put comments on videos like this. I don't delete comments. YouTube does. I've had Moose Racks has had a right time with, if you look at Moose Racks, he's had a right time with YouTube. He's trying to put, like, multiply, try to reword comments, and they just keep getting deleted. I have the same. When I go on live streams, my comments get deleted. And the only reason I know is that I comment on my phone while I'm watching the live stream on my TV, and my comment doesn't come up, you know, in the live comments. And I'm like, huh? It's there, but it doesn't come up on the TV. So yeah, that's a good way of checking that on the live streams. So let's move on to This Must End. Delusional Justin Trudeau clinging on to power. I think it is going to end soon. And this is the one where Moose Rex was having a lot of trouble. So I pinned his comment.
Channel moderators have deleted this comment 6 times. Read quickly over $500 billion spent $500 billion in 2024 by this out of control spending Liberal government.
They're wacko out of control, aren't they? Wacko. It's like 62 billion deficit. Like 50% over what do you expect? What do you expect? And we still have people on X. I really don't get it. When you go on X, they're still saying, let's get back on track. We're all Justin Trudeau, aren't we? And like, no, it's not how it is. Just look at the Langley election result. That's you just got wiped, guys. Liberals just got wiped off the map. Dale said,
after 9 years of living under his coalition, he talks about, I'm as many Canadians are fed up. He's never worked for Canadians or Canada other than fleece our taxpayers' money. Enough already.
Yeah, thanks, RD. Speedy says,
no Canadian voted for Liberal NDP coalition. It needs to be illegal, and the confidence vote has to be decided by voters, not politicians.
It's a great point. It's a great point. A bit like where we had Brexit in the UK. The people decided to separate from Europe. Here, could the people just decide to not want Trudeau in charge anymore, or at least being given the option to choose? Even Liberal supporters must demand the fact that they think that everybody wants Liberals. So they should be demanding that we have an election so that they can say, look, I told you Trudeau was still good, and then they can cry afterwards. Because when you live in a bubble like that, no one's going to tell you otherwise, are they? Nowhere Man said,
the governor of people kind, Justin Trudeau, a legend in his own mind.
I like that. Rayner said,
both Trudeau and Singh are WEF members. Could we expect anything less from them?
And Freeland, that if she doesn't become the next PM of Canada, which she might do for a month, we never know. You just never know what's going to happen. It's just crazy time. By the time I finish this video, which I'm doing like late on Saturday, everything could have changed by Sunday. Gibbs said,
he is so full of his narcissistic self. I think he has some serious issues that need a psychiatrist.
yeah, do you think he needs, do you think he has a mental health disorder? Like a self-destruction mental health disorder? Possibly. Maybe that's why he's a single dad now. Bill Scott said,
the day after Maserati Jack gets his suitcase full of money and no confidence vote will be successful. End of February.
That's what he's saying. That's what Jack's saying. But Northern Perspectives say that they could drag this out. They could drag it out until June. So hold on to your hats, guys. Marilyn said,
please sign petition E5289 from Northern Perspective demanding election confirmed signature and an email sponsored by Michelle Ferrari.
Yeah, so they have a petition out to get rid of Trudeau as Prime Minister, to call an election. Squirrel said,
he has not made anything better, only worse, much, much worse. Don't even recognise this country anymore and no longer feel proud to be Canadian, and I didn't even think it was possible to feel that way.
Well, when I first moved here, like nearly 20 years ago, yeah, it was a totally different place. And I'd like to get back to that. I'd like to get back to the country that I emigrated to and that I first fell in love with. At the moment, like, I'm not in... I still do love Canada, but I can't go anywhere. I can't go back to England because Starmer's there. And that's worse than here. Believe it or not, that is worse than here. So we have hope and we're going to get change. But what I've got to say is that we've still got to keep an eye on the government, even when we get change. We need to monitor what Poilievre does when he gets in, and we need to keep an eye on just to make sure that he's doing exactly what it says on the tin. Lucky Lucy said,
if we were all on the same medication as Trudeau, we too could live in La La Land.
We think shrooms? Ron said,
I love how delusional and self-absorbed this Liberal Prime Minister is. The best would be him saying how proud he is while a video of tent cities and safe injection sites plays in the background. That will be his legacy. Yep.
Yeah, have you seen the Conservative advert on him that shows actually shows that? I'd see it lots of times on YouTube. DLM said,
maybe next time my fellow Canadians won't elect a guy who admires China's basic dictatorship. Give a thumbs up if you, like me, never once voted for this guy. My hands are clean.
Never voted for him. Never liked him when I first saw him. Never, ever, ever. DV John said,
if Trudeau was smart, he would call an election before Singh can get his pension, just to poop in his curry-based steaks, and then 1 week later resign to poop in the Liberals who are against him. Then he can say that he could have won the election, but the internal pressures to resign caused him to resign, and it also burns the next Liberal leader. Vindictive payback.
I hope he doesn't read that, because that's probably the only way out of this without looking like a total failure. Yeah, that's you should be on his support team. And let's finish off with Paula. Hi, Paula.
Say like and subscribe.
Good morning, my friend. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas to everybody and Paula and everybody's families.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from my little fellow at the back who keeps me company in the car every time I'm driving around. I know I've gone overboard on the Christmas decorations, eh? Crazy. I know, I'm so Christmassy. Tomorrow's video. Guys, make sure you watch tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is a stonker. It's Poilievre's end of year chit chat. Yeah, and it's a full 20 minutes almost radio interview, and he tells everything. He's talking about the pew-pews, talking about immigration, talking about everything you want to know what Poilievre is going to do. It's on tomorrow's video. Really, really hope to see you guys then. See you guys.